This morning we did an interview with Love Sport Radio here in London, and that was all about data protection and the large tech company Facebook. Many of us have got Facebook accounts, and now Facebook here in the end of 2018, it's the world's largest tech messaging company, and with revenues around $40 billion, and those revenues are expanding. Now if we look at the first screen here of the financial performance, Facebook has grown from around $15.9 billion to a $40 billion revenue base last year. Last year the company was criticised for the Cambridge Analytica company in the UK. Cambridge Analytica was a data harvesting company that took data from Facebook accounts and made political projections or assisted political campaigns around those. Now, Facebook themselves argued that they were not involved, but Cambridge Analytica, the reason the scandal erupted really was because that they had been taking data from people who had given permission, but then it transpired a few months later from a whistleblower that they had been taking data from Facebook users that had not been given permission, including people who were friends of the Facebook users who had given permission. So the borders of permission have broken down, basically. Now, people always ask us, what are the security tips in using Facebook? And the first thing to say is, of course, there is an age limit. So children should not have Facebook accounts. Here in the UK, I think the age limit is 13 and above, and there are good reasons for that, reasons that Facebook have set that. How to stop Facebook apps using your data? Well, you can cancel all of the permissions, but people often ask how do we do that? So let's just take a look here at my Facebook account. Here we are. This is, if you go into your account on a browser, so not on your smartphone, but on the browser, you'll see this dashboard, and this is what we typically engage with as a Facebook user. It's all good fun here, you know. I've got my friends, my photos I've uploaded. Here's the latest story, you know, just talking about the radio show we've done. Yesterday I took a photo just outside Liverpool Street Station in London, so nice photo there of London. And I'm having chats with all of my friends here on Facebook. So the settings that I use are sharing information among friends. I don't have a public facing Facebook account, if you like. But in terms of managing the Facebook privacy settings, the two icons that are particularly useful is if you go in the top right here on your Facebook browser page. So if I click firstly on the question mark for quick help, and I then go down to these controls here, privacy checkup. Let's check up on the privacy settings that I have. And firstly, he's saying that when I post something, it goes out to the general public, right? Now I only changed that a few minutes ago before I did this video. So usually I post a story and it goes to friends only. So that helps you a bit, you know. Some people don't want to be out there public facing. Some people post things on Facebook instinctively, and then 2 hours later they regret it and they think, oh, you know, I should take that down, but the damage has been done. So I only post to friends, but if you want to post to the public and announce yourself and your photos and your views to the public, then all you need to do is click public. But whilst I'm videoing here, I'm going to just take it back to friends. And of course, if I don't want some friends to see what I'm doing, for example, it's my best friend's birthday coming up and we're arranging a secret party, then I would exclude him from the Facebook notification, or her. So that's done. But if we take a look at the profile settings, the birthday I put down there is not an accurate birthday because I don't want loads of junk messages, nor do I want, if the data is sold, you know, the ability for cyber criminals to use my accurate birthday. So I don't put my birthday out in public, but I do put where I live, London, you know, city of 10 million people, perfectly safe, and where I work is not a problem. People will find that information on other social network platforms anyway. So there you go. I've removed here, I've gone to section 3 and removed the apps that I have on my smartphone. Basically they send news bulletins through to Facebook. So I've removed those before I did this video because I don't want to bore people with the fact that I like jazz music, and therefore my news feeds are sending in interesting pieces about jazz music. So that's the privacy checkup done. The very simple thing to do in Facebook, and probably we should do this every month, book out some time in your diary to do this every month, is go into these security control features here. If you hit the drop down triangle, so here we go into there and then go to settings. So if you go into settings, you will see my username, and you will see the default email if I was blocked. But the interesting part of this really is if we go across to the left. So this index down here in the left is really where your security controls kick in. Now I'm not going to open up some of these because they refer to passwords, and or they might refer to extra settings that I put in place. But particularly when we think about Facebook, think about location. You don't necessarily want your location being advertised to your friends, family, or to the public. So control your location announcements as and when you need to. Blocking people, deleting apps, that kind of thing can be done through these control panels. Facial recognition. Facebook a few months ago put facial recognition as a default setting. So in other words, it would automatically recognize your facial features. And I'm not sure whether that was kept in some parts of the world, but that is obviously not lawful in the European Union. So, but facial recognition in the European Union at least seems to be set as no. But if you want Facebook to be able to recognize you in photos and videos, then you can edit that and put to yes, and then it will ultimately be able to recognize your facial features, and that essentially will be decent advertising information and decent information for people seeking to search for you in the future. I'm going to close that, but I'm going to change it back to no, because the thought of facial recognition and some of the data manipulations that can be made with that horrifies me personally. So I'm going to close that down. Apps and websites here. So our applications that we have on our Facebook account. Sometimes we've downloaded apps through Facebook, or sometimes we've downloaded apps just directly onto our smartphone. The ones downloaded through Facebook appear here and will send messages through to your friends. And I've removed most of those from my timeline. I've left the Jazz Radio one because I like that. But bearing in mind that apps can be hacked, and Facebook accounts can be hacked through your apps. So here we go. We can remove that if we so choose. I don't want to. I mean, I listen to this app most weeks. So, but I've removed all the others. I had about 15 on there, and it's all about sensible apps management. When we use an application, use it, and if you're not continuously using it, then lose it. Get rid of it. Remove it from your smartphone, but also remove it here from the Facebook utility. So here we go to the security controls on the drop down arrow. Often people forget to log out, so I'm going to log out. What it means is the session is not open. So essentially, if my laptop was stolen or somebody was trying to hack into my account, then I've closed that, so they would need to know my password. And of course, the last thing to say, strong password, probably 16 digits minimum, and not a combination of English words. And that concludes the presentation. Thank you.